I'm not sure what to say here. I know what I'm supposed to say, but what was supposed to happen didn't. So I can't say that. So what I have to say is the thing I didn't expect to say. And if you're confused, well, what can I say? So am I. This is the Mark IV Viper, a sequel ship that was supposed to be worse than its predecessor. It was supposed to be slower, with worse handling, and a testament to uninspired engineering. And it is. But it also might be something else. And I think I like it. Here's the thing. I usually start off flying something new by doing the same thing I was doing last time. Whether it's a certain form of combat, or exploring, or material gathering, I'm generally going to at least try what I was doing before with whatever I have to fly now. Which leads to things like taking a Type 6 out into the black, or using a Mamba as a miner. So when I took the Mark IV out to play, I did what I did with the last ship, and left the shield at home. And almost immediately got interdicted by a python. Now, there's no way I can win this, but I am curious how much I can lay into him before he pops me like a soda can. That'll learn me after all, right? Going out in a small ship without a shield, flying a build of thermal beams and packhounds. This is stupid. He's gonna wipe the floor with me. I'm in a Viper, for glob's sake. A Mark IV Viper. That's the bad one. It's slow and stupid and heavy, and he is dead. Huh. Well, now I have a problem. Because I can recommend flying 2 ships in a row without a shield, but 3 really does start to say more about me than it does about whatever I'm flying. In fairness, this isn't a stock Viper. It's got a lot of the parts from the DBS and the assault ships stuck onto it, namely the thermal vents of the former and the hull reinforcements of the latter. Still, it's a Viper. Maybe I got lucky. I was on my way to the nav beacon in the first place. Let's try this again. "10 minutes, 8% hull loss, and over 250,000 in bounties." Huh. And so here's the part where I donked up. I took out a module reinforcement, put in a standard shield, and rocked the Haz-Res just as hard as I did before. Great! It's better to have a shield, case closed, move on. But then I got greedy. Packhound missiles are fun after all, but they really do limit the amount of time you can spend playing outside. So a quick trip to Liz Ryder, and now I have more packhounds. On a small ship. With a shield. Yeah, I ruined it. I'm sure my associates can explain in great detail the mechanics behind the heat dissipation when you juggle pips. But basically, the less pips you have in a stack, the less efficient it vents heat. Which really doesn't make sense, since pips represent power. It should be more power is more heat, but whatever. The end result is, unless I want to cook myself alive, then I don't really have a choice here. I mean, besides changing out weapons. But why would I do that? I have missiles. Missiles are fun. I'm not about to give up fun for practicality. And really, this makes a shockingly decent little strike craft. A lot better than I thought it was gonna be. And a lot more fun than I thought it would be. If I have to say something so controversial and brave that small ships are better without shields, well then by golly, I will be that man. But that's not to say it's a perfect ship. There are just a few things wrong with it. It isn't exactly a revolutionary design. Frankly, it's no less than a Mark III Viper with a ship kit and an updated badge. But somehow the Bondo they used here adds more than 3 times the weight of the standard Mark III Viper on top of the frame, upping it to a catastrophic 190 tons for a light fighter. So as a result, the ship turns like it's flying through jello. It fights you on every turn. Every bank, every twist feels like you're trying to turn a roller coaster. If you could just get it off the rails, this would be all so much easier. So, it can't turn without arm wrestling the flight controls, it's slower despite the better engines, and it costs almost 3 times more than the stock Viper 3. Good lord, why? For what it's worth, it actually does have excellent shields for its class, but they're just not of any use to me here. And while clearly the expanded armor profile is working well for me, it's pretty much the same armor for the Cobra. The cheaper, faster, more maneuverable, better fitted Mark III Cobra. The ship with the exact same hardpoint layout as both Vipers. So while I might actually enjoy this ship, I'm not sure I'd ever buy it. After all, it's still a Viper, and I'm just not comfortable trying to take up 2 landing pads. More importantly, these ships are for new pilots, and new pilots don't have access to thermal vent beam lasers, or dirty drive tuning. They don't have modified hull reinforcements or pack-on missile racks. So while I can turn a Viper into a vicious and formidable ship that eats anacondas, that's not the Viper. That's this Viper. And the difference is night and day. This is a ship you rent for the weekend in the Pleiades, not the one you keep in the garage. Hey, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you liked it. Hit the like button for the algorithm and let me know what you thought down below. The soundtrack is available for free on the Patreon, and I'll ask that if you enjoyed the series, please consider becoming a patron. If you already have, then thank you again. Your support really does help keep this going. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.